embracing the shadow side, right? And this shadow is what gives contours to your personality, right? Your light side is the two-dimensional aspect. The shadow side is when you start to shade in a drawing to give it three-dimensionality. Too many people are one-dimensional. Too many people don't have that dark side. And let's read from a chapter of Robert Greene where he talks about the integrated human, the human who has embraced their shadow side.
Chapter 9. Your Dark Side.
The
The
law
Law
of
of Repression.
repression. You don't want to be repressed. You don't.
Rarely who they seem to be. Lurking beneath their polite, affable exterior is
The
innocent
shadow
dark
side.
shadows.
And now let me tell you something, man. This is honestly so true. This is honestly really true, man, because you got to be careful with people. People in the public light, even people like me, honestly. Like I say that because it's kind of, you know what I'm saying? But even with me, you got to question me because everyone is not who they appear to be on the outside. They're not. And we've seen this so many times that the people who commit the most heinous crimes usually have the most beautiful public light, right? You usually see that. Look at P Diddy. Well, P Diddy was fucking everyone knew P Diddy, right? But usually the ones that flaunt, for example, the woman who check out the woman who wrote White Fragility, right? She was in that book. She talked about how people should not be plagiarizing minorities. And you know what she did? She plagiarized minority. The most judgmental person said, oh, white people are all racist. That was the whole book, right? And she was like, oh, people should not be plagiarizing from minorities. They should always cite them to find out this bitch fucking plagiarized black people. In that book, it's kind of shocking, right? But that's a sign of someone who has repressed their shadow side, right? Um, and when you express your shadow side, find ways to express your shadow side. It'll come across as authentic and people will just be more drawn to it. And honestly, you'll notice, man, people who you really, really fall in love with have a pronounced shadow or have a mix of the masculine and the feminine. Those are the people who create emotional reactions in you consistently.
Consisting of the insecurities, aggressive, selfish impulses they repress and carefully conceal from public view. This dark side leaks out in behavior that will baffle and harm you. Learn to recognize the signs of the shadow before they become toxic. See people's overt traits, toughness, saintliness, etc., as covering up the
The
opposite
opposite,
quality.
right?
You must become aware of your own dark side. In being
Like
conscious,
me, look at me, right? Me, I have a need for control. Okay, I have a strong need for control. I started to notice that in my whole life. Um, I tend to hold opposite views. I tend to have a dark sense of humor. Could be a little offensive. I could come across as a little racist. I'm not racist. I could just, but listen, man, I may come across, you know what I mean? Saying I make some jokes that I shouldn't be making, right? And what it does is that it makes you polarizing, right? But also it gives you charisma, and not a lot of people are gonna like you. That's a fact, right? But when people actually get to know you, they'll notice that there's depth to you. They'll notice that you're just there's just more depth because they can see a dark side, and if there's a dark side, that means there's a whole room full of darkness that you just don't know yet, and it's really, really attractive. And usually, the people who are drawn to you are people who have repressed the sides that you have unrepressed. The little white girl from church dating Tyrone the drug. No, that's fucking stereotype. See, that's the racist side of me, people. Bob the drug dealer, people, right? Dating Bob the drug dealer, right? um, and those and opposites, the trait opposites attract. You have a repressed gay side, you're gonna meet someone who has an unrepressed gay side, and that person will bring out the gay in you, right? And you could I could totally imagine a secretly gay person being seduced by a gay person who knows that they're gay. That is bringing them out. Oh God, I could just imagine that the pressure in that dude. They're like, they must be going through an existential crisis. But that gay guy will be so irresistible to him because they want to be able to let go of that unrepressed side. So you being unrepressed causes people to be drawn to you because they also want to be unrepressed, but they don't want to do it. So they'll vicariously live through you by being attracted to you, being drawn to you. Now, the next one, which is very powerful, weakness. Using weakness. Now, you gotta be careful with this, right? Um, because a lot of manipulators use this. A lot of people who don't give a fuck will literally use weakness as a way to manipulate you. And the reason why is because when you like someone and you're attracted to someone, the sympathy mixed with physical attraction can sometimes create love. And that weakness doesn't have to be like something fake, people. You're weak. You're weak, but motherfucker, you are naturally weak. Just choose the right weakness to show. You don't have to show all your weaknesses, and you don't have to fake weaknesses. You could just be honest and just choose which one to show. Like, come on, man. Like, if you're somebody who's naturally depressed, express that you have depression, right? And when you need help, ask the person for help. Well, what happened is that the weakness will create in the person an emotional and will make the person emotionally invested in you. Your physical and emotional weakness. It's like the damsel in distress. That's why guys tend to be attracted to women who have weak side, who are, well, it depends, right? They have to be they have to have the emotional the emotional attachment towards people who are weak. Here's a strategy from the 33 strategies of war that depicts this strategy.
Seeming to submit. Dominate while seeming to submit. Any attempt to bend people to your will is a form of aggression. In a world where political considerations are paramount, the most effective form of aggression is the best hidden one. Aggression behind a compliant, even loving exterior. Follow the passive-aggressive strategy. You must seem to go along with people, offering no resistance. But actually, you dominate the situation. You are non-committal, even a little helpless, but that only means that everything revolves around you. Some people can sense when you are up telling them.
Right? You're helpless, but even in your helplessness, you're the center of the attention. And your helplessness will cause people to just become more emotionally invested in you. Right. And now, look, man, this honestly, this turns people into manipulators, honestly, because a lot of people will notice that when they're sick, people are more drawn to them. Right. They'll notice that when they're sick, people just want to help them more. But the problem with that is that a lot of people will get a taste as to the power of the strategy. Right. They'll get a taste and they'll be like, oh my God, like when I'm weak, people pay attention to me. Like, it's something that a lot of people notice. Kids notice that. Dogs notice that. Little freaking manipulators and shit, right? And so it's a problem with this because you don't know. I mean, honestly, like, you can't be really questioning people's weaknesses, but for your sake, right? Do not be afraid to be vulnerable. Do not be afraid to tell people some bad things that happen in your life. I am not telling you to. I'm not promoting that you intentionally use this to elicit a response. What I'm saying is don't be afraid to open up. I'm not telling you this to manipulate. I'm just telling you that one, open up, and two, there are benefits to opening up. People actually like you more, right? But when you're too strong, when you're too self-reliant, people will not know how to, like, they're just, they might feel too intimidated by you. They're, if you're a woman, for example, your strength might be too intimidating. In fact, you being too strong of a woman creates sugar baby dudes. Like, fucking, like, seriously, sugar baby dudes, man. When you're too independent, guys become sugar babies. It's kind of crazy, right? But I want you, even when you have, like, just say your puppy dies, right? You're dating someone, ask them for comfort. Ask them for comfort. If they truly like you, your weakness will increase how much they like you. If they don't like you, their lack of comfort will show you that this is not the relationship you want to be in.
All right, so let's listen to the story of this lady who watches my channel, and she managed to do everything that I say in this video, and she got the results that she wanted, right? And if you listen to this, it's just more so to give you guys the trust in my videos, because I understand the things that I say sound risky, but they work. But sometimes you need to see somebody else apply it for you to actually have believe in yourself. You guys just don't believe me, you know, by just listening to Father Alex. Listen to this. Emily first spotted Jack at a bustling party hosted by a mutual friend.
Amidst laughter and lively conversation, she found herself drawn to his easy charm and infectious smile. Intrigued, Emily decided to embark on a subtle yet strategic approach to captivate Jake's attention and hopefully his heart. Okay, I changed names, From the start, Emily was a challenge. She knew that in order to stand out, she had to control the pace of their beginning relationship. While she found Jack captivating, she made sure not to be overly available, maintaining her own busy schedule and interests. Emily adhered to a 3-date rule, assessing after each encounter whether Jake was truly interested in pursuing something deeper. With each meeting, she left just enough mystery to keep him wanting more. Okay, you understand, man, she was strategic. And it's kind of like, for some reason, we're strategic in every area of life, but not dating. But the problem is that some people are really manipulative, so I understand why people frown upon. Jake, intrigued by Emily's enigmatic nature, was drawn to her unpredictability. One evening, after a particular enjoyable date, Emily decided to compliment Jake on his thoughtfulness and consistency. She noticed how he lit up all her words. His ego suddenly boosted, and she understood how this encouragement deepened his affection for her. Emily also embraced her contradictions. In public, she was confident, vibrant woman who seemed to have the world at her feet. But in private, she allowed Jake to see glimpses of her vulnerabilities, sharing stories of her dreams and fears. This duality fascinated Jake, as he felt honored to witness her private self, a side she seldom revealed to anyone. You see, that's the thing. You can't be showing off your psycho side and expect that to be a compliment when you show it off to someone else. No. If you're psycho, hide that in public, so that then when they see the psycho in private, it's a privilege. No, that's an exaggeration. Periodically, Emily would introduce a sudden coldness into her interactions. If Jake ever took her presence for granted, she will pull back slightly, allowing him to consider her value. This strategic withdrawal made Jake stop and reflect on how much he enjoyed her company, increasing his appreciation for her once she re-engaged. And this is the next point: coldness. You have to have some coldness every now and then, people. We're not in global warming. Right? Well, you got to be a little cold. If you're consistently hot, there's nothing wrong with that, because that's the source of that's the foundation of a deep connection. But every now and then, just don't respond for like half a day. Every now and then. If you always respond at night, once a month, don't respond. Once every 2 months, don't respond. Let that adrenaline hit their hearts, and where you going? Hey. Over here. Oh my God, my hands is flying away. Shut up. Cannot just be all warm and fuzzy feelings. You know what I'm saying? You have to sometimes give them a taste of something else, because at the end of the day, there is a cold side in you. There is a cold side. You just choose not to do it, right? If you got a cold side too, you're a cold shot, right? It's a food. And sometimes we forget how valuable you are. Because you're always there. Like, value is assessed in its absence. You get what I'm saying? And if you are always consistent, then you're just being selfish. You're only thinking of yourself, and you're not thinking about human nature. People need absence. People need a break from your ass. People need some distance from time to time, man. Like, this is like it's like, now some relationships are codependent, nothing wrong with that, right? But I'm just saying that even the codependent ones, you want to have some physical distance. It's just human nature. You can't just look at the way nature works. It works through waves or cycles. This is a cycle, right? Waves. Even when fishes swim, they have ups and downs. Life, ups and downs. Things get hot, get cold, right? Same thing with relationship. What in the fuck are you doing? It's not an everlasting up climb. Sometimes you have ups and downs, and the ups and downs is what makes it healthy. But when you don't give that, people are repelled by that, because it's not nature. Anyways, if you guys want to learn how to apply these strategies,
I have a lot of courses to offer you guys. Okay, you could wait. You could finish the video and watch the advertisement where I describe to you the courses that I have available for you. So I'll see you guys later. Take care.
All right, guys, we're gonna have a brief intermission so that I could tell you guys about our new bundle that we're doing, where you guys can purchase all of my courses and get it at a discount. So this bundle is pretty much the bundle where you could just buy all of my courses. You could buy Nice Guy, which is a training course on how to come across more assertive, how to come across more confident, how to not give off nice guy vibes. You guys can get access to Dark Game, which is my full dating course on how to meet women in different scenarios, how to attract women, how to make sure you don't come across as creepy, and essentially how to act like a man and not act like a doofus, to be quite honest with you. And you get all of these bonuses, which is the bonuses of Dark Game, the bonuses of Practical Mastery, which is about how to master a skill, Social Mastery, which is how to master your social life, and the Laws of Human Nature, which is a book club videos that I had dissecting Robert Greene's book. All of this is naturally at around naturally is at $346, but you guys can purchase this bundle and get it at what's the price again? Get it at $238 pretty much. So you guys can purchase it right now. It's a money back 30-day money back guarantee. It's a good way to, rather than just buying them individually and paying extra, you guys can just purchase everything at a discount price. Now, the only thing I don't like is the fact that I'm giving you a lot of information at the same time. That makes me kind of scared, because a lot of times people don't do the things that I teach when you get too much information. But I've gotten too many requests to do this, so I'm just satisfying you guys. Purchase it right now by clicking on the description down below where it says purchase the bundle. All right, let's continue with the video.